What you're about to watch is a special private training session for people who bought a copy of my book, Built to Serve. Enjoy. All right, we got Chris in the house. What do we got, man?
I just bought the book recently. A friend of mine out in Amsterdam told me to get the book. Trying to make a long story as short as possible. I used to be a very overweight person, and I'm in my late 40s, and I started diving into natural bodybuilding, meaning, no steroids and all of that stuff, to get into shape. And 47, and I got the little trophies and stuff behind me back there. I actually have done pretty well. And I've really found that to be my passion. I didn't find my who when I was doing my pages, like the first 5 questions, who inspires you, and yada, yada, yada. So I guess I'm kind of lost as how to get to that point. What's my hashtag me? You know what I mean? Like, I want to say determination because, going from like close to 300 pounds down to about 160, that took a lot of daggone determination. I couldn't just stay motivated. Motivation lasts about a week, but staying determined to get up at 4 a.m. and eat the egg whites and all that other stuff that goes into it, especially in my 40s, was determination. But it's not just about making money, although I can retire from my current job in about 2 years and not having to punch a clock anymore. Perhaps making money as a personal trainer would be something I'd rather do than, work for somebody. But again, it's not about the money necessarily. It's about maybe helping someone else that's been in that same situation where they were dealing with the problems of being overweight and what can they overcome to not have those problems.
So do you prefer Christopher or Chris, or you don't care?
Chris. I just signed in Christopher because of
Christopher is what your mom calls you. Okay. So
when I'm in trouble, yeah.
So Chris, go back and think about what year was the worst moment of your life? Like, how old were you?
I don't know, probably maybe 42, 43. Well, my son had, maybe even younger, my son had cancer in his eye, and that was one hell of a rough go. So I was probably more like, I was 25, 26 years old.
Okay. So if you think about going back to 25-year-old Chris and or 42-year-old Chris, what are you going to sit down and tell him?
Well, as far as the cancer was concerned, the only thing we could do is just go through the process and let my son heal.
No, but you're going to you're sitting, imagine Chris, who's devastated right now that he's going through this and all the sleepless nights and all the emotion and the pain. And you have 5 minutes to go sit at a park bench and talk to that guy. What are you going to tell him? Not just, we just got to go through. You're not going to tell him. We're just going to go through the process. So what do you actually tell that Chris?
You can get through this, and you got to put your faith in God and move forward. I guess
that's great. Yeah. How about 42-year-old Chris, who's struggling with weight? Being massively overweight, what are you telling him? It's your fault. You can blame genetics all day, but that quarter pounder with cheese wasn't genetic, and nor was that large pizza and 6-pack of beer. Okay, but you're probably not slamming him. You're probably not putting him down and saying it's your fault, because that Chris doesn't want to hear it's my fault, because you already hate yourself at that point. It's your fault as like the achiever. It's the Chris now saying, okay, let's change our lives. But 42-year-old Chris can't hear that message because he hates his life. So what do you tell that guy?
Let's get to work, because this didn't happen overnight, and it's not going to fix itself overnight, but we have to get to work to get it started.
So in those messages is at the core of what you're all about. So I wrote down, from the first one was faith and move forward.
Okay. The
second one, from your son and your son's better, by the way, I hope.
Oh gosh. Yeah. He's doing great. He's good. He's doing phenomenal. Yeah.
Cool. So, faith, moving forward. And then from the second one was, let's get to work, get started.
Okay.
In that combination is what you want to give to the world.
Right.
And so I would play with those keywords as like the who is on top, and then the credo is underneath of the 3 things that make it up.
Right.
I can't come and tell you, hey, Chris, it's this, right? Like this is the soul exercise where you have to figure it out, but it will feel more and more right. So like maybe determined is part of it, but at the top is actually faith. Maybe your message is to give faith, like 25-year-old Chris needed faith, 42-year-old Chris needed faith as well. And under faith is, hey, let's get to work, let's get started, be determined, and something else, right? Okay. So you play with those combinations of keywords, but when you can actually get out of your head and into emotion, that's where it's going to ring more true. So when I, interrupted you and said, hey, no, you wouldn't actually say that. You're not going to tell them it's your fault. And you're not going to tell the other one, just listen to the doctors and we'll be fine. Like you're going to have a more like, this is what we do though. We just stay in our head and strategic, but this is a heart question. So you would actually have a lot more compassion. And so, thank you for being a guinea pig and sharing. But in that combination, we'll just feel more and more right. So I would sit on all four of those. Faith, move forward. Let's get to work, get started. Let's get to work and get started are kind of similar anyway, but there might be difference in the meaning for you. And in there is the solution.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And don't stress if it doesn't come tonight, but with more time, like you sleep on it, come back. Faith might feel more and more right, or move forward might feel more and more right.
Okay.
Right. Or maybe determination, maybe that is it too, but it feel more and more right. But with you, and that's hopefully exercise for everybody. And I know we're a little bit over, but exercise for everybody is like, what would you think about the most painful moment in your life? Go back. What would you tell him or her on an emotional level to sit with them and understand, like you think about the pain that they're going through and now the perspective, if Chris is now going back like 20 years, there's a lot of perspective that's happened in that time that you can give that person, younger you, a lot more knowledge and wisdom in a way that they would listen, and you'd be a lot more compassionate. So I would tell 19-year-old, hey, believe, dude, believe in yourself, believe that it will work out, believe that you're going to make it, that you will get through this. Like you just need more belief because you've got all the, can I tell you what 42-year-old Evan looks like? It's amazing. You're going to love your life out there. The thing that you need right now is just more belief. Like that's me at 41 talking to 19-year-old Evan. And so that's what I still need now. And if you find, like, if it ends up on faith, as an example, it's still what you need now.
Right.
For everything that you've done and you've lost the weight and your son is healthy, you won these trophies and everything else, you've hit a certain level. And the difference between now and where you could be in 5 years is still a deeper level of faith or determination or whatever you come up with. Right. And this is where people might look at you and say, but you're already so determined, dude. Right. You already have so much determination, but there's another level to unlock.
Right. Okay.
Cool. Well, thank you for showing up and thank you for asking the question. If you want to get a copy of Built to Serve and join us live for our next training with me to ask your questions, you can go get the book right there next to me, right there. I'll see you there. I'll see you to get the book. It's a good one. Much love.